Azure Container Instances, ACI, is a service that allows you to run containers without managing virtual machines or having to adopt a higher level service. It provides a quick and easy way to run containers in the cloud with minimal overhead. This presentation will guide you through the process of provisioning a container using ACI, covering all essential aspects from setup to management. Azure Container Instances is a platform as a service, PaaS, offering that enables you to deploy containers on the Azure cloud. It supports both Linux and Windows containers and is ideal for scenarios where you need to run simple applications, batch jobs, or microservices without the complexity of managing the underlying infrastructure. ACI offers several benefits, including rapid deployment, scalability, and cost efficiency. You can quickly spin up containers without worrying about the underlying hardware. ACI also integrates seamlessly with other Azure services, making it easier to build comprehensive cloud solutions. Additionally, you only pay for the resources you use, which can result in significant cost savings. Before provisioning a container, you need to set up your Azure environment. This involves creating an Azure account, setting up a resource group, and installing the Azure CLI. The Azure CLI is a command line tool that allows you to manage Azure resources from your terminal. Once your environment is set up, you can proceed to create and manage containers. A resource group is a logical container for Azure resources. To create a resource group, you can use the Azure portal or the Azure CLI. For example, using the Azure CLI, you can create a resource group with the command azgroup create name my resource group --location eastus. This command creates a resource group named My Resource Group in the eastus region. To deploy a container instance, you need to specify the container image, resource group, and other parameters. Using the Azure CLI, you can deploy a container with the command azcontainer create resource group, my resource group, name my container, image my image, memory15. This command deploys a container named my container using the my image image with 1 CPU and 1.5 gigabits of memory. Networking is a crucial aspect of deploying containers. ACI allows you to configure networking settings such as DNS names, ports, and virtual networks. For example, you can expose your container to the internet by specifying a DNS name and port number. This can be done using the Azure CLI with the --name label and -ports parameters. Once your container is deployed, you can manage it using the Azure portal or the Azure CLI. Management tasks include starting, stopping, and deleting containers. You can also monitor the performance and health of your containers using Azure Monitor. For example, to stop a container, you can use the command azcontainer stop resource group my resource group -name my container. ACI allows you to scale your containers based on demand. You can manually scale your containers by adjusting the CPU and memory settings or use Azure's auto-scaling features. Auto-scaling automatically adjusts the number of container instances based on predefined metrics, ensuring optimal performance and cost efficiency. ACI integrates seamlessly with other Azure services such as Azure Kubernetes Service, AKS, Azure Functions, and Azure Logic Apps. This integration allows you to build complex, scalable applications. For example, you can use ACI to run background tasks triggered by Azure Functions or orchestrate workflows using Azure Logic Apps. Security is a critical aspect of deploying containers. ACI provides several security features, including network isolation, managed identities, and Azure policy. Network isolation ensures that your containers are not exposed to unauthorized access. Managed identities allow your containers to securely access other Azure services without storing credentials. Azure Policy helps you enforce compliance and security standards. Monitoring and logging are essential for maintaining the health and performance of your containers. Azure Monitor provides comprehensive monitoring capabilities, including metrics, logs, and alerts. You can use Azure Monitor to track the performance of your containers, diagnose issues, and set up alerts for critical events. Additionally, you can integrate Azure Monitor with other monitoring tools for a unified view of your infrastructure. Managing costs is crucial when running containers in the cloud. ACI offers a pay-as-you-go pricing model, allowing you to pay only for the resources you use. You can use Azure Cost Management and Billing to track your spending, set budgets, and optimize costs. Additionally, you can use Azure Advisor to get recommendations on cost-saving opportunities. Troubleshooting is an essential skill when working with containers. Common issues include container crashes, networking problems, and performance bottlenecks. Azure provides several tools to help you diagnose and resolve these issues. For example, you can use Azure Monitor to check logs and metrics, or the Azure CLI to inspect the container's status and configuration. ACI offers several advanced configuration options to meet specific requirements. These include custom DNS settings, GPU support, and persistent storage. For example, you can attach Azure files to your container for persistent storage or use GPU-enabled containers for compute-intensive tasks. These advanced options allow you to tailor your container deployments to your specific needs. To illustrate the practical use of ACI, let's look at a real-world case study. A company needed to run a batch processing job that required significant compute resources, but only ran once a day. By using ACI, they were able to provision containers on demand, complete the job, and then deallocate the resources, resulting in significant cost savings and operational efficiency. Provisioning containers using Azure Container Instances offers a flexible, scalable, and cost-effective solution for running applications in the cloud. By understanding the various aspects of ACI, from setup to advanced configurations, you can effectively leverage this service to meet your business needs. The next steps involve hands-on practice and exploring additional Azure services to build comprehensive cloud solutions.